buckle up, bike fans. Let's kick it back in time and discover how far we've come from those early, fearless riders on the world's first motorcycles. Built way back in the late 1800s with some seriously basic and bold designs. Fast forward to today, and it's clear that motorcycles have won the hearts of millions globally, becoming a top choice for transportation worldwide. So, get ready to rev up your nostalgia and join us as we cruise through our top picks of 15 utterly awesome vintage motorcycles. Let's fire up our history lesson and dive into number 15, the iconic 1923 BMW R32. You might be surprised to learn that this legendary brand has been around since before the Roaring Twenties, with a past rooted in building engines for Germany's World War I Air Force. But when the Treaty of Versailles came along, banning the country from new aircraft production, BMW had to think outside the box and pivot towards something entirely new. Enter the R32 motorcycle, born in 1923 as a result of this creative shift. This pioneering ride was a game changer for BMW, introducing their now iconic flat twin boxer design, which paired perfectly with that innovative shaft final drive system. Little did they know back then, but these early roots would grow to form the foundation of what we know and love today as the mighty Bavarian brand. So, let's talk about how BMW's design DNA has stuck around for over 9 decades and even influenced their cars. Now, back to our vintage ride, the 1923 BMW R32. This baby was packing a 494cc motor that could hit an impressive top speed of 60 miles per hour. Can you imagine cruising on one of these bad boys, trying to sneak into your secret speakeasy without getting caught by the authorities? Of course, by today's standards, it may look a bit like a retro bicycle, but trust us, this classic design laid the groundwork for what would become an unmistakable style that still turns heads. And as we're about to see with our next entry on the countdown, this timeless look has only grown more desirable among collectors and enthusiasts. They just can't get enough of it. Speaking of which, let's shift gears and dive into number 14, the 1937 Brough Superior SS100, often hailed as the motorcycle equivalent of a Rolls-Royce. Get ready to rev up your engines. We've got an absolute beast on our hands. Introducing the 1937 Brough Superior SS100, crowned as the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles by many. And why? Well, George Brough, the founder, boldly guaranteed that this speed demon could blast past the century mark, making it a game changer for both speed and power. The real MVP here is its brand new 990cc air-cooled V-twin engine, pumping out an incredible 48 horsepower. Talk about breaking the mold. Back then, anything with 30 horses was considered top-notch, but this Brough Superior SS100 took it to a whole new level, earning its title as the world's very first superbike. Its massive impact on the scene even caught the eye of none other than T.E. Lawrence. We'll share more about that soon. Buckle up, folks, because our countdown is heating up. Now, that's what we call legendary. Lawrence of Arabia, the real deal, was so obsessed with this bike that he owned an impressive 8 Brough Superior SS100s. Talk about a true adrenaline junkie. But what makes this beast truly special is its bespoke design. Each bike was carefully crafted to fit its rider perfectly. With every detail tailored just right, we're talking custom handlebars, folks. And despite being a powerhouse, it's also super lightweight for unbeatable handling. The Brough Superior SS100 set the bar high, but then came the 1950 Vincent Black Shadow, ready to knock it out of the park. This speedster reached an astonishing top speed of 125 miles per hour. Yes, you read that right, it even outdid the SS100. Get ready for more record breakers as our countdown continues with number 13, the iconic 1950 Vincent Black Shadow. Here's a rewritten paragraph. Buckle up, folks. The 950 Vincent Black Shadow was the game changer that shattered all speed records with its insane 55 horsepower and a V-twin engine that packed a massive punch, 998 cc to be exact. You might recognize this beauty from Hunter S. Thompson's wild ride through Las Vegas in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The author went as far as saying if you rode the Black Shadow at top speed for too long, you'd probably meet your maker. That's why being part of the exclusive Vincent Black Shadow Society comes with a warning label. Not many riders have lived to tell the tale, making it a true legend among bike enthusiasts. Let's dive into the next iconic ride. Although that death-defying claim about the Black Shadow might have been exaggerated, it was still a total dream machine for any speed enthusiast in the 50s. This bike was the holy grail. Its record-breaking speed wasn't beaten for over 2 decades. If you were a motorcycle fanatic or just someone who lived for adrenaline back then, getting your hands on a Black Shadow was the ultimate goal. Now, let's shift gears and check out number 12 on our list, the 1955 Moto Guzzi V8. At first glance, it may not look like much, but trust us, this tiny beast packed one heck of a punch. Moto Guzzi was already a big name in Italian racing back in the 50s, and they crafted this V8 specifically for legends like Fergus Anderson, Dickie Dale, and Stanley Woods, who dominated the racing scene with their skills. You might not know these names today, but back then, Fergus Anderson, Dickie Dale, and Stanley Woods were the absolute best in the business. So, when Moto Guzzi built this V8 for them, you can bet it was a force to be reckoned with, and boy, did it ever deliver speed. Check out that sleek bullet-like design at the front of the chassis. This bike was made for crushing records. In fact, in 1957 at the Belgian Grand Prix, it hit an insane 178 miles per hour right under everyone's noses. Now, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. The Moto Guzzi V8 had some major drawbacks, like weak tires and brakes. But hey, when you're going that fast, who needs to stop anyway? Despite these flaws, this bike still managed an impressive 3 seasons on the Grand Prix circuit and remains one of the all-time greats in motorcycle racing history. And let's not forget, this motorcycle is pure style. But we're just getting warmed up. Next up, the legendary Harley-Davidson Sportster, all the way from 1957 and still rolling strong today. You know Harley-Davidson, they're a name that resonates around the globe. This iconic brand has built their reputation over generations of motorcycle lovers, and for good reason. The 57 Sportster was a game changer, packing a punch with its powerful 45-degree V-twin engine that could take you all the way to 100 miles per hour. Not bad for back in the day. Now, let's dive into what truly made the Sportster stand out: its compact yet iconic design. This smaller bike was a breath of fresh air, offering an unbeatable riding experience for riders of all shapes and sizes, especially paving the way for female riders who became trailblazers in the racing scene. The Sportster's signature handlebars added to its laid-back vibe, giving riders that effortless cool factor. Sure, it may not have been the speediest ride on the block, but it solidified Harley-Davidson as a household name and a symbol of American engineering excellence. But our journey doesn't stop there. Next up, we've got the 1962 Norton Max ready to rev up your engines. And what's interesting is that this motorcycle era coincided with the Grand Prix heydays. Get ready to rev your engines for the 1962 Norton Max, the quintessential British speedster. This bike quickly shot to fame as the go-to ride for top-notch racers back in the day, and its impact still resonates today. Its sleek design was so on point that other manufacturers couldn't help but take inspiration, and who can blame them? The Norton Max boasts a stunning low-slung body, giving it an irresistible cool factor. Powered by a potent 500cc single-cylinder engine churning out 60 horsepower, this beauty could reach an astonishing 140 2 miles per hour, the ultimate thrill for any speed enthusiast. Let's talk about the Norton Max's last and most legendary iteration, a true racing icon with an impressive trophy case brimming with hundreds of wins. And here's the best part. If you're ready to splurge, you can track down one of these speed machines for around $1,000. Now, that's a collector's dream come true. But before we get back to our timeline, let's hop across the globe to Japan and meet the 1969 Honda CB750. You might wonder how this nation could bounce back from devastating World War II. But Honda's incredible rise as an engineering powerhouse is nothing short of remarkable. And the CB750 was their ticket to stardom. It marked a major shift in motorcycle history by introducing the four-cylinder beast that would eventually topple British bikes' long-standing reign and dominate the market to this day. Meet the game-changing CB750, also known as the Universal Japanese Motorcycle or UJM, a bike that redefined the scene. When it landed in US markets, riders were blown away by its affordability, about $1,000 less than what they were used to paying. But don't let the low price fool you. Honda didn't cut corners on quality. This stunning machine not only kickstarted superbike racing, but also paved the way for a new era of motorcycle engineering and manufacturing. And trust us, its influence is still felt today. Almost 60 years later, you can spot these gorgeous bikes cruising down streets everywhere, proving that this Japanese icon truly stands the test of time. Get ready for the ultimate mini marvel, the 1969 Honda Z52A, aka the monkey bike. While its initial purpose was to bring joy to kids at amusement parks, let's face the truth, the grown-ups were the ones having a blast on these tiny titans. Honda soon caught wind of this and decided to crank out more, exporting them to Europe and the US. Weighing in as a featherweight, this pocket-sized motorcycle could squeeze into tight spots, making it perfect for casual riders or anyone looking for an easygoing ride. But let's be real. Would you ever catch one of these zippy cuties speeding off the grid at the Grand Prix? But here's the thing. Despite being a tiny bike, the monkey didn't exactly stay in the slow lane. In fact, it became a go-to vehicle for pit crews at racing events, zipping around tracks and disappearing into car trunks between races. The monkey even caught the eye of John Lennon, who made headlines riding one with his son on their estate. Talk about cool dad status. Now that we've paid tribute to the pint-sized star, let's rev up our engines and head straight into number 7. The 1970 Ford Ducati 750 SS, a beastly beauty that's as rare as it is rad, with only 401 ever made. This limited edition speedster was based on the winged wonder, the Imola 200 Racer, and its green frame nickname doesn't lie. This round case, bevel-driven Desmo powerhouse was built for the streets but proved itself a champion on the track with Paul Smart at the helm. But let's get back to the Ducati 750 SS Null. What a gem! If you managed to snag one of these rare cafe racers back in the day, congratulations, you've got a potentially six-figure asset on your hands. In fact, this beauty even graced the hallowed halls of the Guggenheim Museum as part of their Art of Motorcycle exhibit. Talk about style and substance. With its distinct design, it's no wonder the 750 SS has become one of the most iconic motorcycles ever built. So, if you ever stumble upon one of these limited edition stunners, don't hesitate. Pull out your wallet and ride off into the sunset. Now that we've reached for the stars with our Ducati, let's gear up for number 6, an adventure seeker's dream come true. The rugged and reliable 1980 BMW R80 GS. Get ready to shift your gears and hit the open road with our next bike, the legendary 1980 BMW R80 GS. When this adventure machine rolled off the assembly line, it revolutionized the motorcycle world by creating an entirely new category, the unstoppable adventure bike. Not only did the GS pave the way for a whole new breed of thrill seekers, but it also played a crucial role in pulling BMW back from financial trouble and into the spotlight. Today, This rugged workhorse remains a top pick for riders taking on cross-country trips, international escapades, or even just tearing up the local track. And if you're a fan of epic journeys, you might recognize the R80 GS from Ewan McGregor's globe-trotting TV series, Long Way Around. Buckle up and rev your engines, folks. We're speeding into the 90s with the iconic 1992 Honda CBR 900R Fireblade. In an era where superbikes were all about one thing, raw power, Honda came roaring onto the scene with a game-changing machine that redefined the rules of speed. With its razor-sharp handling and pulse-pounding performance, the Fireblade left everyone else in its dust, proving that there was more to being a superstar bike than just brute force. This trailblazer's impact was so massive that it paved the way for future generations of sport bikes that focused on not only going fast, but also handling like pros. Get ready to feel the rush. In 1992, Honda shook things up with an all-new attitude, balancing power and practicality. Say hello to the CBR 900RR Fireblade, a true showstopper that ditched the ultra-sharp but impractical super bikes of the time for a more real-world riding experience. With its winning combo of speed, agility, and everyday usability, Honda's Fireblade redefined what it means to be a superstar sport bike, proving that you can have your cake and eat it too. Or in this case, own the track and still make it home for dinner. The Honda CBR 900R Fireblade took the world by storm when it hit the scene, and its impact is still felt today by striking a perfect harmony between power-packed performance and everyday usability. This game-changing bike showed that you didn't have to choose between raw speed and street-smart practicality. The Fireblade's winning formula included a rock-solid 893cc inline-4 engine, churning out incredible acceleration, as well as an impressive 167 Nm of top speed. But it also boasted a roomier chassis and a bigger fuel tank for longer adventures on the road or track. Whether carving through corners at the circuit or navigating urban streets, this versatile superbike left riders wanting more and paved the way for future high-performance machines to follow in its tire tracks. Buckle up, speed demons. But remember, safety always comes first. All right, now let's get to one of the most iconic bikes in history, the 1994 Ducati 916. This Italian stallion made waves worldwide when it hit the scene, and for good reason. Ducati is a household name synonymous with high-performance motorcycles. When they unleashed the 916 model in 1994, it was like throwing fuel on a fire. Racing enthusiasts and collectors alike went wild. Although early production was limited, this bike's dominance on the track quickly turned it into the holy grail of superbikes, sending demand soaring and cementing its legendary status among motorcycle aficionados. The Ducati 916 was the talk of the town, and before production ended in just 5 years, this beast had already claimed 4 out of 5 Superbike World Championships and 1 manufacturer's title, making it the undisputed champion. What's even more impressive is that the 916 made high-performance riding accessible to regular folks. While some competitors were priced at a whopping $7,000, the Ducati 916 could be yours for half the cost. Under the hood, the bike packed a punch with its short-stroke engine producing 100 horsepower and a top speed of 160 miles per hour. Talk about adrenaline rush. But what truly set the 916 apart was its sleek design, inspired by Massimo Tamburini's vision of a woman's curves. The result? A motorcycle that's not just powerful but also stunningly beautiful, turning heads wherever it went. Now, let's fast forward to the real showstopper, the Ducati 916. But before we dive back in, did you know that this iconic bike played a huge role in shaping modern motorcycle design? Its flowing lines and curves influenced countless bikes that followed, making it a true game changer. But the 916 didn't just revolutionize style, it also redefined what was possible financially and culturally. Ducati's masterpiece set a new standard, leaving other manufacturers scrambling to keep up. And speaking of standards, let's take a moment to reflect on the state of the world around that time. By 1945, World War II was finally coming to an end, and American factories were ready to shift their focus from war efforts to producing bikes for the civilian market. Signaling a return to normalcy after years of turmoil, let's hop back in time and check out one of America's oldest motorcycle manufacturers, Indian. Their iconic chief model was a real trailblazer, and we're not just talking about its age, over 80 years young. Despite its retro vibe, this bike wasn't a relic from the past. It was actually the go-to choice for couriers and scouts during World War II. And when the war ended, Indian brought the Chief to the masses, making it accessible to riders everywhere. Now, you might notice that the Indian Chief looks pretty cool, but also a bit bulkier than modern bikes. That's because this bike was all about comfort, not speed. It was perfect for cruising the streets, and police departments across the country loved its durability and practicality. So, if you're looking for a bike to hit the track, keep searching. But if you want an awesome ride for everyday adventures, the Indian Chief is definitely worth checking out. Can you believe it? Back in the day, speed limits were as slow as 35 miles per hour, no hypercars or high-speed chases for these guys. But don't get me wrong, the Indian Chief was no slouch. It could hit an impressive top speed of 80 miles per hour. And even though it's been decades since its heyday, this bike still holds up as a legendary steel workhorse from 1945. Now let's shift gears and hop across the pond to Italy, where we've got another iconic model that's sure to turn heads, the 1968 MV Agusta 861 Magni. This beauty was crafted by none other than Arturo Magni himself, an engineering genius who designed this stunning bike alongside his talented sons. We're talking sleek lines, powerful performance, and a whole lot of Italian style. So buckle up and get ready to ride with us as we explore the incredible world of vintage motorcycles. The Magni name is like a royal crest in the world of motorcycle racing, instantly recognizable and steeped in legend. But what's even more fascinating is the story behind this Italian icon. Arturo Magni, a true cycling genius, partnered with MV Agusta to create a dynasty that would shake up the racing scene. Taking inspiration from their already lightning-fast 750S model, the Magni team completely revamped it with a brand new frame and an engine overhaul that included high compression pistons and a whopping increase in capacity. We're talking 861 chassis of pure power. The result was a machine that wasn't just fast, it was a head turner. And here's the cool part. The 861 Magni was essentially built for Arturo himself, but its reputation spread like wildfire among fellow racers and enthusiasts who would often send their own bikes to Magni for a tune-up that guaranteed victory. Talk about having your name on the trophy. Get ready to rev up your engines and take a trip back in time. Let's talk about the legendary 1926 Excelsior Super X, a bike that's got serious cool factor thanks to its royal endorsement by none other than the one and only Steve McQueen, aka the King of Cool. This suave anti-hero's love for the Excelsior Super X was so strong that even his stunt double couldn't resist joining the club. But this bike isn't just a pretty face. It's an important piece of American motorcycle history, featuring a powerful 740cc V-twin engine and cementing its place as one of the most iconic pre-World War II bikes in the States. The 1926 Excelsior Super X was so hot off the production line that its competitors Indian and Harley-Davidson were practically burning rubber trying to catch up. They quickly rolled out their own similar models, but the Super X left an indelible mark on American motorcycle history. Today, its legacy lives on in the 750cc class of flat-track racing, a scene where power and precision reign supreme. Now, let's talk about this speed demon's radical design. Minimalistic and stripped down to perfection, It's a tiny Titan with no front brake, no fender, and no room for fancy lighting. But what really makes the Super X roar is its high-octane engine, tuned to run on fuel that'll make your local gas station jealous. Pure alcohol. And did you know that the Super X was the first 45 cubic inch motorcycle in the US? Its impact was so huge that just 1 year later, a whole racing class was born. The 45 cubic inch racing category, the 1926 Excelsior Super X, a true trailblazer that rewrote the rules of speed. Its sole mission: to leave everything else in its dust. Whether it's racing down the track or tearing up the dirt trails. And we're not just talking about pros. Legendary riders like Steve McQueen were known to take this beast for a spin at his ranch and even cruise local streets. The Super X was an instant showstopper that sold itself without needing any celebrity endorsements. Its raw power and sleek design made it a head-turner from day one. So if you're craving more adrenaline